Let's talk a little bit about Gardner Minshew. Minshew mania, a big thing his rookie season, but statistically, it's not like he fell off a cliff or anything his second year, which is kind of what made last year so interesting. And, quite frankly, I do have to say, they 100%, in my opinion, I don't know any inside stuff, but there's no way that they legitimately felt like Mike Glennon was better than Gardner Minshew. I mean, if you want to use stats, Minshew's passer rating was over 15 points higher than Glennon's. So to me, that says that, okay, no, they wanted Trevor Lawrence, which I get. I mean, that makes sense to me. Get an upgrade at quarterback any way you can. Even if you like Minshew, you probably love Lawrence. So I don't hate that decision. But at the same time, we should talk about Minshew and talk about what he does well, because there is stuff, and I do feel like he's a top 32 quarterback in the NFL. I do. And also, on his nicknames section of his Pro Football Reference, it says Mustache or Jockstrap King, which is just fantastic, but that's besides the point. Anyways, let's get into the film study. Let's start off with a play like this. Stuff like this is actually really impressive, I think, from a guy of his age. And again, when you're a 6th-round quarterback, you do kind of have to start playing well pretty quickly and, be a good quarterback immediately. You don't get time to sort of see how good you are. So like on this play, it's going to be a cover 2. This is what Indianapolis like to run a lot. And you see how this could attack the cover 2, right? So DJ Chark is going to kind of run towards the corner of the end zone where there isn't the Colt directly in charge of covering. Typically, what you'll do is you'll have either the corner or the safety cover him, depending on who you want. Typically, Indianapolis will have the corner go back here, but what Jacksonville is doing is they have another receiver running kind of underneath. And so there's 2 guys that could potentially get open there. And Minshew wants to hit Chark, and so watch how he goes about doing that. Right when this play starts, I mean, you see how he's going to fake as though he's running to number 10 right there immediately, so that way Chark could potentially more easily get open. And you see how it's sort of fooling the Indianapolis corner a little bit. 38 right there. He's moving in a little bit because if it is a quick throw, well, then you might have to go over and make a tackle. So I understand kind of the wanting to go forward here. I know logically some people might say, just let Chark go by you, run up, tackle Laviska Shenault. But again, when you see a fake, sometimes you fall for the fake. That's what happened here. Minshew then goes over and he's going to make just an incredible throw to DJ Chark. They get the touchdown right there. Good play. And then there's stuff like this. So on this play, really I want to talk about him as an athlete for a second, because he can throw on the run. He can do stuff like that. So you see how it's a cover 3 zone. The way this play works is Laviska Shenault, who is in motion, is going to kind of go underneath right here as the number 1 receiver on the bottom of the screen's running a go route. That'll push the corner further deep. You then have Shenault run right behind him, essentially, and there's going to be no one there. Also on this play is that Minshew has a rollout to the bottom of the screen, which is to the offense's right. And so, right when this play starts, you see how Minshew does roll out, and he's, off balance right here. And some people would say, he probably should just sort of stop and then make the throw. One of those people who would say that is me. I think that he should have probably just stopped and made the throw. Just get your feet planted, make a more accurate throw. But still, if we're talking about the talent, watch the throw. I mean, look at that. Just a beautifully accurate throw. Got it down there. Again, arm strength isn't incredible, but the accuracy is, and that's a lot of what matters. Just how accurate are you? So really good play there by Minshew to just get the ball over there and make the play. And again, have to be clear, not criticizing the Jaguars for moving off of him and going to Lawrence, because Lawrence is awesome. I get it. If you can get a better quarterback, do whatever you can to get the better quarterback. But I'm just talking about Minshew's one of the best, if not the best, backups in the league right now. And like this one, so it's a quarters coverage play. And the way that Jacksonville is attacking it is they have 2 receivers to the offense's left who are running deep. You then have another receiver who's going to run somewhat deep, but a little bit underneath. The hope is that the defenders kind of stay deep because they see 2 players on their side of the field running deep, and then you have a 3rd player go underneath. That's how you hope that this play can work out. It's a good concept. It works out pretty well. You also have a play action on this one. Hopefully gets the linebackers out of position, all that fun stuff. But right when this play starts, Miami is defending this one really well. And I feel like this game was kind of part of what got people to turn on Minshew a little bit was the Miami game. But that's because it was early on in the season and people didn't really realize how good of a defense Miami had. But anyways, nothing's open right here. And so Minshew is going to do the not young player thing, but he's going to do the smart thing. Watch him just take this check down and pick up yards, and then look at what James Robinson does, because Robinson is awesome. So there's that. Another guy who potentially got replaced in the draft. We don't know. I'm sure he'll get playing time at least. But, that's what Minshew can do, is he can make the smart read, not just make the sort of dangerous read, which is something that's very impressive for a second-year player. Like, I really think that, out of a lot of these second-year guys who are still getting opportunities, you look at Drew Lock, you look at Daniel Jones, even Sam Darnold, who's in his 4th year, I would say Minshew has outplayed all of those guys, and he's not getting another opportunity. I would have liked to see a team that's not Jacksonville trade and take a chance on him. But, like, another one is something like this. So, the concern about Gardner Minshew coming out of college was kind of his arm strength, and that is, it's a concern. Like, it's fair. I don't think it's an invalid concern, and this one is an example of that, where it's going to be cover 3. So sometimes cover 3 can be really good to get a deep route going, but watch what happens. I mean, as you see, so Minshew runs the play action. There is a good amount of separation, but this throw is just in there for, that's up there for a mile, and Minshew just doesn't really have that arm that can just sort of fire one through there and get it through the gap quickly. So that is a fair concern. That's a tough part of his game that isn't really there, that is there with like a Trevor Lawrence. So again, I get that, but that is probably his one biggest negative. He doesn't have too many others, and he didn't really have any like bad games I saw. Every game, even the ones where the stats weren't crazy, that was usually just no one was getting open, not he was playing poorly. And like on this one, this kind of, talking about that sort of deep route stuff, it doesn't always really matter that much, because what sometimes matters more is how accurate are you. And like as you see, so Minshew's going to take the snap, throws it very quickly, and that's a perfectly accurate throw, and they get a big completion right there. So he's capable of doing stuff like that, of making those accurate throws. He just has to throw it a little bit quicker because he doesn't have as big of an arm. And that's really his only negative. I think there's a lot he does well, and I would like to see another team take a chance on him. It's the unfortunate aspect of being a guy who, was a 6th-round pick, is teams just aren't going to give you the same opportunities that they'll give, other guys who haven't been in the league as long, because for other guys who got selected quicker, they'll be in the league longer just because, teams really want to see how it works because they love the college player. But at the end of the day, if Minshew's outperforming some guys that got drafted higher than him, then start Minshew or give him the chance instead. That's what I think. I think Minshew's still good, and I wouldn't be shocked at all to see him at some point show up again at some point. That's what I think. What do you guys think? Let me know in the comments below. Always love hearing from you. And of course, as always, thanks for watching.